Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Art of Relationship show. I've been under the weather the last couple weeks, so I apologize I wasn't doing the show live. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Let me know everything's going good. Woohoo! I'm actually doing the live stream from my home, and I just got home, rushing all over the place and trying to catch my breath. So, as always, we're doing a live Q&A on relationship, dating, intimacy, yes, sex, people. In your questions, as always, you can throw them out down below in the chat. So, um, gonna start off talking about women and asking men out or partners out, right? So it might not apply, I apologize, to same sex partners with women because one of them got to ask the other one out, right? So when we're talking about women asking men out in heterosexual relationships, what is your fear, ladies? What is going on? And again, it's a free for all Q&A, question and answer. You can join in the live chat down below. You can throw your questions in, your comments in, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And the disclosure I make every show, hey, Tiffany, hey, what's going on, Max? I appreciate you tuning in. Throw out your questions out there. And a disclosure, this does not, replace or substitute actual counseling, psychotherapy, couples counseling, if you will. Oh, let me adjust a little bit in my office. That's, I have disclosure statements. So this does not, nor is it intended to replace actual counseling in my office. Okay. So, hey, Angela, appreciate you, everybody joining in. So, I'm going to jump right in after a little drink of water. Yes, it is water, not booze. So, like I said, I've been fighting the upper respiratory aspect. So, I apologize for not doing a show the last 2 weeks. So, when we're talking about how many women out there and how many men out there have been asked by women for your number, for going out for coffee, a drink, going out for a date, or even, hey, I'd love to talk to you. Here's my number, right? And you text back and forth. And this is what I promote for women, okay? Women, be brave, right? Be brave. Go ahead and ask a guy out. It's 2023, I think, still, right? How many women out there have actually asked a guy out on a date? And I get a lot of people. Dr. H. Jones, I appreciate you tuning in as well. Um, and I promote women being brave and asking people out. When I taught college classes, grad school about relationships, sex therapy, those type of aspects, I would ask this question. I would pose this question, ladies, how many have asked their male out? And I know in same-sex gender, I'm definitely LGBTQ positive, absolutely, right? And I know with same-sex gender, there's always say a woman asking another woman out, right? So we're talking about heterosexual relationships when women are afraid to ask a guy out. In college classes, I would ask this: how many ladies, how many women, or identify as women, have asked a gentleman out, has asked a guy out? And I would get maybe 3 out of 40 women in the class, each class, say they have. And I'm like, woohoo, great, great for you. Now, the other females or identified women, what causes you not to ask a guy out that you might be interested in, that you might be interested in romantically, okay? Excuse me. So, a lot of women will say, oh, no, that's a guy's job. That's a man's job. The man should be the initiator. And I'm like, okay, how many people, tell me why. Why do you feel like it is their job to ask, to initiate the date, to ask for your number? What makes you say you can't or you won't? That type of situation. And what it comes down to, a lot of women say, well, I'm old fashioned, right? Going back, that's the guy's job. Well, I'm old fashioned, I'm traditional. And then I'll ask, how many of you ladies out there, say, there's 37 of them, out there versus the 3 that said they already have, how many believe in premarital sex? And all of them will raise their hand. Oh, I do, Greg. Heck yeah, I do. I said, I thought you told me you were old fashioned or traditional, right? So I want to get rid of that right off the table, right? And I promote premarital sex. Yes, I do. I'm sex positive, okay? So, oh, please share the video on your timeline. I want to get as many engagements as going and how many questions I can help people on. And the questions don't have to be related to the topic about women asking men out on dates, okay? Or asking for their phone number or anything else. You can ask any question relating to dating, to marriage, to relationship elements, okay, or intimacy, and I'll do the best I can in answering those, okay, with the time allowed. Excuse me, I know it's been 3 weeks and I'm still fighting upper respiratory stuff. So, when it comes down to I'm old fashioned, so you tell me you're old fashioned, you're traditional. I respect that. I get that. But then you tell me you believe and you're okay with premarital sex, and great, terrific, right? I promote that because when you're married, that's a whole nother subject altogether. When you get married and you're not sexually compatible, then what, right? So when we come into the elements, let me just say, come into the elements. When it comes down to it, women admit, going to the root of it, that they're afraid of rejection, they're embarrassed, and I joke around. So it's okay for the guys to be embarrassed to take the hit, be rejected. Oh yeah, Greg, gee, that's right, absolutely. And I joke, I'm like, really? Why is that fair? So that's where I look at, fear and rejection, and I get that, right? And it cuts across men too, not just women, right? So I look at ladies, is that the biggest issue? And there's a lot of women that also, well, if I ask out, then I look like I am loose, I am a slut, and I'm not in the slut shaming, I'm not in the sex shaming at all, right? And I look at that doesn't necessarily make you look like that. And if that person thinks of you as that, then number one, do you actually care? And number two, do you have enough self-worth and self-respect that, hey, if they think about that, you know what? That means I don't want to be with that guy anyway, so deuces. We're looking for different things, okay? So how many women out there, I'd love to see a show of hands, wave at me, or even join, how many women have asked a gentleman out for their number, for their, to go on a date, coffee, a drink, a meal, anything, right? Or just to talk that, hey, I'd love to talk to you. How many women out there have admitted to doing this, or are maybe you want to, but you're shy? I get that. I understand that, okay? Or do you feel like it's taboo? It's not right. It's like the old adage that, and I'll ask women, I'll go even further. How many women have asked a guy to marry them, right? Oh, it's the guy's job, right? It's the man's job. We're talking in a heterosexual relationship, okay? So, and I'm like, why can't a woman ask a guy to marry them? And a lot of people look at, because it's new, it's different, it's unique, right? According to all the stats, right? That they view it as it's wrong, it's different. Well, we could look at how many throughout history, what has been wrong, right? Women's rights, women's movements, right? Equality. We could look at that throughout history, and people look at, well, that's just wrong. That's not. And I'm one that questions history. I question. I'm all about equality. I'm all about people being, going after what they want, regardless of certain gender norms, traditions, that type of thing, okay? So, and you don't have to agree with me. That's okay. I'm not saying that. I'm asking what makes you feel that the man always has to ask the woman out. And that's why I doing this episode about challenging women. If you are interested in a guy, in a man, ask him out. Don't be shy. I get it. We're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of But even if the gentleman says, "Oh, I appreciate it, I'm flattered, that's what I would love," you know what? No, I'm sorry. They could be involved with somebody we don't know. They could be married. Not a good thing, right? And also, what if people want different things and that you don't view it as being rejected, even if he is single and might not be interested? Will you be able to find out? I know it could be embarrassing. That's where I said about it's okay for a guy to get turned down, but not a woman. But at least can you be proud? Hey, you know what? I took that risk, I took that chance. And it's not a sense of being rejected, it's a sense of, you know what? Maybe they're looking for something different, just like you. And I joke around. Well, I'm serious, right? How many women are in the short, bald guys like me, right, with the goatee, blue eyes, right? No, no, I'm teasing, right? A lot of women have they want their man to be X amount of height, right? 6 foot tall or above. They won't look at someone shorter. Everybody has their, what they're looking for to a certain degree, right? Women are shallow, men are shallow. We get that. You're looking for someone that you're attracted to and you connect with on more levels than just attraction, of course. But that fear of rejection, I want you to put that away. If they're looking for something different, that doesn't mean you're not good enough. That doesn't mean you're not desirable. That does not mean you're not worthy of being loved and being in a happy, healthy relationship or marriage if that's what you're looking for. So, women, I'm doing this to encourage you to promote self love, to promote self respect, to be able to be okay. It's 2023. Hey, you know what? I want to go ahead and ask a gentleman out if that works for me, okay? So, I know I keep clearing my throat. I'm still fighting this upper respiratory aspect, so I apologize. Hey, Devin, hey, what's going on? Hey, Jennifer, I appreciate you joining in, Alexa. So throw out your comments, throw out your questions out there. And again, it doesn't just have to be related to tonight's topic when I talk about women being brave or women go ahead and ask that gentleman out if you're interested. And yes, maybe you're shy and you're in a same sex relationship. I don't want to, take, throw that off the table. But, if you're shy to ask somebody out in a same sex relationship, go ahead and ask and fight through those insecurities, those fears, right? And maybe that person is looking for something different, and that doesn't mean you're not worthy, you're not good enough, just different. And I threw myself under the bus that, I'm short, I'm 5'6", I'm bald, but been this like, and I own it. I'm like, so what, right? So not every woman likes bald. Not every woman likes short guys. A lot of them don't. I get it. So what? I'm confident enough to go after it. So that's where I want you to promote self love and self respect to be able to ask that person out if you are interested in that, okay? And if they're not, hey, be proud. I did it. I took that risk. It didn't work out. Oh, well, you know what? I'm proud of myself. And now I can get the courage up to maybe ask somebody out again instead of always waiting in the wings, always waiting and think, oh, I wish someone would ask me out. I wish someone would. And I get that. There's a lot of people out there, I don't want to be asked out by anyone, right? Especially coming through or coming from a breakup or a divorce situation. You need to get your feet wet a little bit. And what I mean by that, your feet wet as far as, getting your bearings back, being single again, getting your identity in check again, coming through a breakup or, a divorce situation. It's not easy. So, also about that, how many women are afraid to initiate intimacy in their relationship as well? That they feel that it is the man's job, or, same sex relationship, it's always the other partner's job to initiate intimacy, a hug, a kiss, maybe a little booty squeeze, right? Or intimacy, full blown intimacy, making sweet love, and that you're afraid to because you're afraid of that rejection. You're afraid what that partner thinks. And a lot of men would love our ladies to initiate. They would love to, initiate, start kissing, touching us, hugging us, whatever, to initiate intimacy. Most men love that. The ones that don't are usually the control freaks, or maybe they're a little very nervous, apprehensive, or they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And that could be a self-worth, self-esteem aspect as well. But the control freaks, men anyways, they'll belittle, they'll call names, they'll degrade their lady for initiating intimacy. And I think that's very unhealthy and it's toxic, right? I would love to hear and promote you ladies to be able to initiate intimacy with your partner, or maybe you never have. And I get that, it's scary. I'm a realist, okay? Maybe you never have in a prior relationship, if you've been in one, or a prior marriage. Now, would you like to be able to initiate? Would you like to be able to, initiate affection and go after, hey, I want you now, I want to kiss you, I want you naked, whatever, whatever your thing is. Or maybe if you dress in a, scantily sexy outfit and you're like, baby, I want you, and own that. And how many people are afraid or maybe uncomfortable with their sexuality, or feel even a little bit embarrassed about that, or I can't initiate, Greg, because I don't like the way I look, And, I deal, body image aspects, not only women, but men too. But tonight, talking about, women and being brave, excuse me, being brave, going after and initiating intimacy, and also initiating, getting a gentleman's phone number, asking them out for to talk, or a drink, a coffee, whatever, go for a walk, a bike ride, whatever it is. Excuse me. So I'm here to encourage you. Of course, not pushing. I don't believe in pushing, intimidating, manipulating, not at all. I don't want anyone in that situation. But to encourage and support, because a lot of women would love to, they're just maybe afraid of rejection, afraid of getting turned down. They're afraid or being embarrassed. And as part of that, hey, Jack, yeah, nice haircut. You like that? So I own it, right? I said even earlier, right? I'm 5'6", bald. I've been bald since I was 18, 19. So I own it, right? And I'm confident, right? We all have issues. We all have insecurities, okay? So please go ahead, share this on your pages, on your timelines, in your feed. I'd love to get a conversation going and answer any of your questions, not only related to this topic, which is great, about women asking their man or initiating for a date, for their phone number, for talking, or if you're in a committed relationship, about the lady initiating intimacy, initiating sex. That would be great. But not only that, I'm here to help. I use me, abuse me. I tell people, don't abuse me. But I want to answer any questions I can regarding maybe challenges or questions you have about marriage, your marriage relationship, or dating relationship, or committed relationship. Maybe you're living with somebody, right? And it's not working out. You have a rough spot, or you have a question about intimacy, about sexual relations. Anything I can do to help, I want to be able to help people out there and answer the questions to help you out. That's my passion, okay? Like I said, because I give you advice, it doesn't take the place of actual professional counseling services that I do in my office, okay? These are insights, and they are based on professionalism. They're based on research and empirical evidence, all that aspect too. And based on 21 years working with couples through dealing with, healing after an affair, arguing, fighting, belittling, that type of stuff. Or, they get in an argument, one always says, I'm leaving, and they come back and they don't leave. about safety, security issues, and about promoting self love and self respect. Okay. Real quick, I am running a sale on my self help courses. I talked about, healing after an affair, 28 days to ignite your relationship, and I do have a premarital course as well. Those 3 courses are on sale. They're cheap, okay? And I put a lot of work in each one of them, and they're reasonable. They're very cheap, honest. Check them out, theartofrelationships.org/courses, or just go to theartofrelationships.org, and then in the header under courses, you can check them out. Now, my passion, of course, I want to help as many people out there as possible, okay? And no BS, no blowing smoke up anyone's booties, but honest, sincere help that actually does help you become the person you want to become, and hopefully help you get the relationship or marriage that you've always been, dreaming of. And that doesn't mean dreaming, meaning fantasy land, doesn't mean perfect. It means, that you're feeling a lot more connected emotionally, mentally, and physically. And what does that look like, okay? Going back to how many, ladies love initiating, but you're afraid. There are women out there that are great at initiating intimacy, and I give you a lot of credit, a lot of props out there to be able to look at. You initiate sex, you initiate intimacy with your partner. And like I said, women that have asked guys out, ask for their phone number, ask to talk, go for a walk, whatever. I applaud you. Great, awesome, terrific. Empower other women to be brave and to fight through their insecurities and fear of rejection, okay? So, but there's a lot of women I do get in my office that are complaining, Greg, I'm the one initiating. My man doesn't initiate at all. And I'm the one initiating. So I feel like I'm not desired. I'm not feeling, I get that, because men might feel the same way, but this is about you. And, we got to look at, right? What causes your partner not to initiate? Is it they feel like they never had to? Or did they feel like they don't want to get rejected? They don't want to get embarrassed. They don't want to get turned down. Or maybe we could look at, there might be issues going on as far as exhaustion, health issues, anxiety, depression, mental health aspects that are going on. Or maybe they feel disconnected in a relationship. Yes, men, just like women, maybe they're not feeling appreciated. Maybe they're not feeling they're taken for granted. Maybe they're not feeling loved in the way they need or looking for. Maybe they don't feel respected. And that's why they stopped initiating. That's where I want people to understand, hey, what's going on? What is causing you? What could you do, what can I do to help you initiate intimacy with me? When you're talking, you're in a relationship, long-term relationship, or you're in a marriage situation or a dating situation, that you would love it if maybe, your man is not the one that's initiating. And I run into that a lot. Everybody assumes a lot of things. There's a lot of myths out there about gender, about all men like this, all women are like this, a marriage looks like this, a relationship looks like this. It needs to look like how you want it to look like, not how anybody else wants to look at. Now, right, being a professional, I help you get to where you want to be, and I'll never, ever promote someone being used, being abused, emotionally, sexually, physically, not at all, right? I'll never promote that. So that is not what I mean. I don't think a lot of people or anybody, man, I can't wait to get in an abusive relationship. I can't wait to be in a toxic, abusive marriage. No. But what does that even look like? What does it look like that you both show each other, you love each other, you adore each other, you cherish each other? And I know there's days you don't like each other. Told you, I'm a realist. But that you're underneath all that, you're able to, you still feel love for each other, and you're able to reach for each other. And even initiating how many people, I'll go there, how many people in a relationship or in a marriage that they're the ones that are always apologizing, right? It could be the lady, it could be the man. Uh, they never apologize. They always make excuses. They always condone it. They always flip the script, Greg. And I'm looking at that and I tell people it takes to be humbled, humility, and it takes courage to be able to own your mistake, to be able to own, hey, you know what? I can work on this. I apologize. Let me make sure this doesn't happen again, okay? So we need to be able to look at that to promote a safety where you can talk about anything and everything. Maybe what I'm talking about now, let me adjust. Excuse me. Where a lot of people will look at that, they're afraid. They turn into arguments and toxicity, that type of situation. And, what is so fearful or embarrassing for people that they won't show remorse? They won't apologize for their action. It turns into, I'm sorry, but you made me. Or, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have done this if you didn't do that. That's not a genuine apology, right? How many people out there, I'd love to a show of hands. Maybe I should do a poll. How many people think that women apologize on average more than men apologize? I'd love to hear how many people think that, right? And I'm going to tell you that in my experience, in my professional experience over 21 years, I'm honest, okay? I have seen, I have witnessed, I have observed that actually more men, not all, more men apologize, show remorse, and own and own their mistakes and what they've done more than women. Yes, that is true. I can't speak for everybody working with couples, not at all, or specializing in couples. I'm speaking from you. 40 ounces to freedom. Greg, how much for that picture behind you? Oh, cool. I love that. Actually, I should get them to advertise on the show. The picture I actually got is blown up on canvas. Okay. No, I appreciate you asking. Okay. And I have some of them like this at my office. I'm actually home tonight. I'm not, I rushed home to do the show from home. It's been a long day, so I'm not in my office, and I have similar ones in my office as well. But they're from, you get a picture like this, you can find them all over. Maybe you have one, and you can get pictures of loved ones, your kids, maybe you and your partner together. And I got them from, it's called easycanvas.com. Okay. And you send them the picture, pick the picture size you want, and they'll send it on a canvas. It looks like a painting, as you can see. And I think they range from, with shipping and everything, anywhere from, say it's 2 feet by 3 feet or 24 inches by 30 inches. You're looking at, I think, shipped for about $40. So not terrible, right? And it looks like a piece of art. It looks like a painting on canvas. But no, so check them out. Hopefully that helps you out. Maybe I need to get them to sponsor the show. That'd be cool, right? To answer that. So going back down to women, look at what scares you. What is it that maybe is uncomfortable with you asking a gentleman out on a date? If you're single, don't do it if you're married or in a long-term relationship, right? No, that's not cool. So to be able to ask them, be brave, be, encouraging. Say, I'm going to be proud. I want to do this. It's part of self-love and self-respect, even if they're not available or maybe they're not interested. I'm honest, right? I'm not one that, oh, just do it. Don't worry about. I get that. That can hurt. But understand, hey, that doesn't mean you're not worthy. That doesn't mean, that you're not good enough, lovable enough, attractive enough, whatever it is, to be able to look at, hey, they might be just something different. They're looking for something different, right? And and I, throw myself under the bus again. I'm 5'6", I'm short, and I'm bald. I've been this way forever, but I'm confident, right? And if I'm interested, I'm going to ask somebody out. I'm flattered if somebody asks me out, right? A lady would ask me out. I've always been flattered throughout my life, even if I'm not interested. I'm sorry, maybe unavailable or whatever. I'm going to be honest, but I'm also going to thank them. Man, I appreciate it. I'm very flattered. I am. So, ladies, take that into advisement, and also look at if you are in a long-term relationship, you shouldn't be asking anybody else out, right? Unless you're in an open relationship and you have that agreement, or poly situation, right? That's different. But if you're in a long-term relationship, dating situation, or marriage, what would it take for you to initiate your own sexuality, to initiate intimacy with your man? Or, it could be dressing, negligee, the old stereotypical. Maybe it's just starting to initiate, to caress, to kiss, or to even say, hey, you know what? I want you to be able to go after it. Hey, Madison, I appreciate it. Soul Chef, peace, man. Michael, I appreciate you tuning in. So, encouragement, encourage yourself to be able to go after it, to be able to say, hey, I always envision me initiating intimacy in my relationship, and I'm going to fight through those fears. I'm going to fight through, body image aspects. I talked about this earlier about, and I know it's not easy, but to ignore the body images. My man says, he thinks I'm sexy, I'm beautiful, and he initiates, but I want to be able to initiate it and feel comfortable in my own skin. And it's ignoring maybe what I feel about myself right now. It's about embracing the connection of us two, embracing the intimacy, the soulfulness, the heartfelt, and of course the sexual pleasure that we can share. And I deserve that. So, ladies, own that and be able to go after it, okay? And again, check out my website, theartofrelationships.org. I am running a sale. I mean, they're very cheap, reasonable, anyways, on self help courses. Again, before I let you go, my voice is going. Like I said, I'm still fighting the upper respiratory a little bit, but I'm a lot better. So, check it out, theartofrelationships.org, and I do have the courses on there. Healing after an affair, 28 days to ignite your relationship, and a premarital course as well, that'll help people that are thinking about not only getting married, but maybe living together. That will help you out and talk about expectations and things to look for that can help you out to have a successful, happy relationship or marriage, okay? I appreciate everybody taking the time to tune in. Like I said, my voice is shot. I'd like to go on for another half hour or an hour. But next week I should be a lot better, hopefully back to 100%. And throw me show topics, okay? DM me, private message me about, show topics you'd like me to cover. And I'm always doing a question and answer, okay? A Q&A. That'll be every week that I would take your questions, your questions you have on dating, relationships, marriage, and, sex, intimacy as well. With my experience, 21 years as a licensed professional counselor here in Michigan, Metro Detroit, and 20 years specializing with couples in all forms of issues and sexual challenges, cheating, affairs, fighting, arguing, disconnect, not being able to talk about anything, difference of opinions, expectations, those type of things, chemistry, and one of the most common is, sexual desire discrepancies as well, which is not easy, okay? So everybody have a good night. I'm going to chill out my voice for the rest of the evening, and I appreciate everybody taking their time. Your time is valuable, and I'm very, very flattered that you stopped in, okay? Again, theartofrelationships.org. Check it out. Peace and love, everybody. Take care, and you have a good night, okay? And let's Let's keep promoting peace in this world, okay? Take care. Bye bye. Good night.